Hello and good day, peoples.
King Bob!
How are ya? Hope everybody's well. Another day, another adventure. Alright, so I just logged in. Did a little bit of figuring, moving things around, making sure that it was cleared on this second character. Moved my bases, did a little bit of upgrading, created my mining field. Now I have my other base next door. Everything should be transferring. These are already filling up. Quick access from there, right to go up top. Already ran out of seeds on that. So we'll just clear it all out first. Merge the seeds into the seed box. So we have some contaminated, bunch of morels, got some fish from the astronaut fish, from the aeronaut fish, whatever. Bunch of wheat, bunch of corn, bunch of mushrooms, bunch of sage, honeysuckle, and saffron. So now we'll turn that into fertilizers and feed. That's wheat. Still got yield boosts in there. So let's put our seeds back into it. Now this is going to be corn, same scenario. Make sure I actually added it. Okay. Now the reason why we're doing that is because we just want to keep the flow going. Saffron's a very good recipe ingredient. Honeysuckle, it works great to make herbal feeds, but it also is good to feed my rabbits. Same with sage. Make herbal feeds from it as well. So just add that back in there. Saffron. Mushrooms is for making additional fertilizers like yield boost type thing, so it's definitely in our best interest to produce it. So we'll just put our mushroom seeds back in there as well. This, pretty sure this was morel seeds. Yeah, there's our morel. And that's the growth boost. Makes it grow faster. Peppercorns, cucumbers. Let's throw some coneflower in there, but we're going to take the breeding boost out, or the growth boost out, because it sacrifices seeds and speed, or seeds and yield for speed. Yeah, let's put some breeding boost in that compartment, and that will do what we need it to do. Alright, so that's doing that. Now, while we're over there, yes, we've moved our base to a much prettier zone, still on the edge of a contaminated area, but much less congestion. The congestion that there is down below with a couple of bases, but it's kind of technically out of range to affect us at this point. Nobody can build too close to us because there's roads, and we've taken up the little bit of space that there is on this peak. We're still able to use our deviation generators. Even though they don't show that they're spinning, they are. So that's that. That's all set up. Made a few small adjustments to the base. Phenomena. Do 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 do. Pardon a little bit of fan noise. Starting to heat up into the spring, so I've got to make sure I stay cool. Try to anyway. Alright, so now that's that. This character is the one that produces fertilizers. So we've got our feeds, and then we've got our fertilizers. So we want to make sure we grow a bunch of fertilizer. Why? Because the stuff that we've just grown takes up a great deal of space. So that's growth boost. This is yield boost. So we've got a whole bunch of mushrooms to work with, and we've got tons of fertilizer, base fertilizer. Now this is the stuff you get from just using the spoiled foods, but the fertilizer itself is something that has recently changed drastically. Because now when you have fertilizers, you can see spoiled food basically now goes in 5 stacks. They've changed the compost bin in the last update, in the last big update, and now you can actually get 5 stacks. But the nice thing about the compost bin is it actually processes 4 at once. 4 stacks at once, and 99 spoiled food turns into 297 fertilizer, which is way better ratio than it used to be, and it processes way fast. So now we have massive fertilizer, whereas before the update it was very difficult to have any amount of fertilizer, and now we have tons. So I used the fertilizer to make advanced fertilizers like yield boost, which literally is what it says. It makes it have more. Now the difference being is it sacrificed seeds, and it sacrifices a little bit of the growth time type thing. It just makes it produce more. Well, it sacrifices seeds. It doesn't really sacrifice so much the time. Growth boost sacrifices, it makes it grow faster. sacrifices the time and the seed production in the for the interest of getting it faster. And then you've got the where are we here? Mutation boost. It makes it so that there's a higher chance of getting mutated crops, contaminated, mutated, so forth and so on. And breeding boost literally produces more seeds. So when you're short on seeds, you use breeding boost, and it basically grows the food in a way that it's going to produce more seeds. And that's typically what you want to use when you have low seed counts in specific fertilizer or specific types of foods or agricultural products, and you need more seeds. That's what you use, is the breeding boost. Simple as that. Great stuff. Works quite well. Now, the difference being is saffron turns into that, but it also turns into herbal feeds and so forth and so on. I have a lot of seeds right now, so my big goal is to just get rid of the large amounts of mushrooms that are in there. So I'm going to produce, I'm just going to use the mushrooms to get rid of them. And then I'm going to use the morels, which is just a different form of mushroom as well. We'll skip over to the other bench. Do the same thing. We will use the morels, which are already there, and create a stack of that. That's the deviated, so you typically save that for something else more like the mutation boost when we're trying to get more mutated crops. So we'll use that in that location. So that exhausts that. Growth boost, yeah, it's basically made from large amount like tomatoes and onions and stuff like that is what you use for that. Now the difference being is I actually want to go over here and make some herbal foods for my animals, because we are definitely low on that type of stuff, and that is why we want to save the saffrons and sages and get some of that made. Turn it all into herbal green foods because it uses quite a bit just to make one, so gotta make sure we take care of that. And you've got your meat pellet feeds, your grain concentrate feeds, which is good for deer. Typically the deer and goats and whatnot will eat it. They do prefer the herbal types. Same thing with the rabbits, they prefer the herbal types. Deer's favorite foods are corn and wheat, so if you make grain concentrates, they're quite content. Never hurts to put some actual fresh stuff in the box with them because it makes them happy. Same with their meat pellet feeds are basically your bears, like basically your herbivores, your carnivores. Pigs will eat bloody anything, like literally in life and in the world. Pig will eat anything. Alright, so now we'll just let that produce. It'll do what it needs to do. This outfit that I'm wearing is one of the brand new cosmetics that were just released. I love it. It's great. It's one of my one of the appreciation things that was given by the Once Human themselves for the content creator program. So I greatly appreciate that. I don't have a lot of funds that I can put into this, so I don't have any funds that I can put into this. So it's nice to actually get some of my cosmetics and whatnot. Same with the. I managed to make a fairly high tier in the program, so I managed to get 3 different rewards, including a my next luxurious battle pass is taken care of. That's a nice gesture from Once Human and the folks at 90s Games. And the same with my, you know, got a new outfit and got the new spring house skin as well. So that is very exciting. Looking forward to checking that out and doing a build with that. So that's basically the gist of that. Now, the point with the Stardust platforms, I have to go manually start them all. Normally you would use Digby's to get them all going, but don't have a lot of Digby's on this character because I've got them all on a different site. So basically we just come in here, we clear everything out. I'm making tons of healing hands. That's what the Artisan's Touch is for, type thing. And these are producing large amounts of mats for those. We are producing using the Artisan's Touch to produce healing hands in large quantities due to nightmare dungeons and their difficulty. It's good to be able to heal your gear and your weapons in the field when you're trying to, you know, farm dungeons and do what you're trying to do. Smoke through the content, get her done. Takes a great deal of mats to pull it off. You know, it's like basically the healing hands. So the healing hands, that's where they come in. We make tons of potions. I take care of the hive, so forth and so on. So we've got lots of the all-purpose hands is what they're called, type thing. And that's basically the difference there. So we have a number of the mats required to produce that stuff. Then we just dump it all into there. And that's basically the gist of that. Fertilizer growth boost. Put that in there. This is just the temporary box. It needs to go over to the farm. So, well, the other stuff, I mean, some of this stuff produces pretty slow. It takes a long time to develop some of it. The feeds are already there. Now the grain concentrate feeds, we actually have a fair amount already made, so I'm just not really worrying about that at this particular moment. So typically we turn that into, yeah, well, that just depends. I also need to look at the food consumption. We do have a full hive, so I got to make sure I stay on top of the food. So we'll make 3 stacks. Corn soup is a great product. It gives you 50% energy and 50% hydration. It's not an aluminum can, so it is lighter than most items. That is the big difference, and why I produce it in large quantities for everybody to use, because it is, look, a stack of 100 of them is only 10 pounds, whereas some of your aluminum can products, they, you know, basically 10 of them is a pound and a half already, type thing. So the ratio is much different. And then you get people that that swear by their blueberry juices and orange juices and stuff like that. Well, you're not considering that those particular products in a glass bottle, they weigh 1 pound per bottle. So you have massive weight restrictions in the game, depending on the enhancements that you have. So when you look at those things, same blueberry soda, it's 1 pound per bottle. Same thing, the orange soda is only half a pound, but go figure. Or no, a stack of 10 of those is 1 pound. Is that what that is? Yes, it's 0.1 each bottle. So a stack of 10 works out to 1. So if you're, they must have adjusted that because it used to be way lighter. It used to be way heavier. That must be an update change. Anyway, so now it only weighs that. So now they're all both just 0.1. So it's not as bad as it used to be. But on the other side of the coin, it is completely unnecessary to carry 2 products. It's inexpensive enough to make, especially when you're farming corn and wheat in large quantities type thing. You can make, a couple hundred stacks of it type thing. A few stacks of it at a couple hundred each level. And it goes a long way. Basically you carry, 15, 20 of each of one of those particular items at a time. Scratch my forehead. And what that does is it allows you to reduce your weight and carry less product because you get everything you need in one. So now the saffron that you see in there, we need to take care of that. So that is going to make saffron goes into breeding boost, so we can make a bunch of breeding boost as well to clear out the saffron. Now that's your deviated saffron. So you got a little bit of honeysuckle, you got a little bit of sage, just the leftovers, bellflower, honeysuckle, so forth and so on. Oh, yawn. I have a yawn. Waking up the brain. Alright. So that's basically the gist of that. Those are producing, and in the process we are going to go and take our products over and dump the seeds and the other stuff into the seed bin. Merge that into there. Alright, technically we still have some corn and other products on us. Those could be merged into those just need to be stored in the fridges until we have enough space to produce them into like grain concentrates or whatever it is that we want to make with them. So those typically just go in the fridge. And then all the deviated product we put in that goes into the non-perishable box because it does not go bad when it's deviated or contaminated. Once again, your salt water is kind of a heavy product, so you look, 7.6 pounds for 76 of them. So that adds up pretty fast. Get that organized. And so I put that in the farming bin, because that type of stuff, we just, if it's foods that we're not going to use, or the kind of stuff that comes out of a box, we just typically let it turn into spoiled food. And that works quite effectively. I just freaking woke up, so pardon my yawn. Just trying to wake up my brain. Didn't really get enough sleep, so kind of the way of things with me. Alright, so put all the meats in the fridge. Everything has a purpose. We got some sea bass. Got to get around to making cheese and other stuff. So we might as well just do that. The corn ale, we could also make some corn ale, so I guess I'll probably do that, because that's a time consumer. I'll just turn the corn into that. That makes sense. Malt ale is what you do with the excess wheat. That's actually deviated wheat. So that's a Stardust energy drink, which I don't actually want. Use a little sugar, do some salt. And then we will get some cheese on the go. And that be that. Finish making, well, put a couple more salt in there, get those done up so that we have more space. Oh, stretchy, stretchy. Meat pellet feed is always a good thing to do with the excesses, but you know, once again, the animals like to have some fresh deer meat and stuff like that, so it never hurts to keep a little bit on hand. Lasts a little bit in the fridges and stuff, so, and if you put it into an animal's feed bin, it never goes bad, but you can't take it out once you put it in, so be aware of that. Alrighty then. So all that stuff is under production. Oh. Specializations, chef's knife, jump booster, stove long-term storage. Need that, so let's see if we can reset that. No, we don't have anything to reset it with. So where are we at with our journey, or not our journey, our actual... So we're at 930 of 630, we're at 950 of 840, and we are at 810 of 940, so we need a few more in there. Need to run the research again. 5 dishes on plate. What? Keep 5 ornamental fish in the tank at once. Hit Manibus's weak spot 500 times. Okay, so that one's producing water again. This one's producing water. Excess over what we need for the farm is taken elsewhere and applied to the brewing barrels and the other things that are needed for other locations. Cut that out. Never really bothered to develop this because I just can't be bothered because I have too many bases and too much responsibility. This whole TV stand is new, but I don't actually have a TV to put it on it yet. Oh, God damn it, wake up. Gotta wake up the other side of your brain. I was going over here to put something up here, but I forgot what the heck it was. Oh yeah, fish tank. That's what I needed. Where are you? Oh, that's new. Oh yeah, it's a storage facility is what a plate is. I forgot. There it is. Wow, you actually have to stand on the damn table to access it? That's a little weird. And I didn't get credit for that. Why? Nope, still didn't get credit for it. Hmm. Good to know. Alright, so that is that. Log out of this. Get to the right character. Be right back. Gotta help my mama.
Hello, hello.
Alrighty then.
Hello.
Hola, senor. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Headed on home after spending a few hours with my granddaughter.
Well, there you have her.
What are you doing this evening?
This evening, probably playing the game like usual. Just woke
Okay.
up a little while ago, so I usually have another nap in the afternoon type thing because I don't get enough sleep. But other than that, no, I should be playing all day. Should be playing in the evening, no worries.
Ah,
Move
it's a
my...
green Cybertruck.
Oh, gross. That's
It's
not
even
even... That's not even funny,
it's
man.
even worse than the gray one,
It should be a
the
law.
Battleship Gray. Or I guess it's more. It's a dark gray, not a Battleship Gray. So maybe Stealth Fighter.
Hmm. How about if we just go with ugly?
With a capital UG.
Yeah, exactly. He's ugly. Downright yuckums even.
Oogly oogly.
You don't like it. It's not nice.
Well, I am headed to the house, following an Audi S4
Hmm.
that is tagged Quiet S4. So I'm not sure what that means. It's one of their performance vehicles.
I see. Yeah, there's nothing like a hot rod that doesn't make any noise. Kind of defeats the purpose of a hot rod, doesn't it?
Well, my neighbor got one of those. Oh, I forget who makes it, but the Can-Am trikes.
Mm-hmm.
Got the front end of a car and rear end of a motorcycle.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Got that last weekend or last Friday.